Good afternoon. LiveWeatherBlogs.com meteorologist Bob Acanfrio with the afternoon tropical update for Wednesday, August 25th, 2010. We have a lot to talk about today, so let's get right to it. First off, we have Hurricane Danielle. Here's the latest forecast map out of the National Hurricane Center. As of 11 a.m., it was located 19.6 north, 52.3 west, maximum sustained winds 85, movement west-northwest at 17. Here's the official forecast track right here. Looks like the latest, I'll show you the latest satellite here in a minute. Looks like it might be moving a little more northwest now. But here we go. It's going to move west-northwest and northwest. It's going to kind of slow down in here as it seeks out that weakness here. So we're going to have a little bit of a slowdown by Thursday, Friday. And this is where strengthening could take place again. And maybe we might have a major hurricane knocking on the door of Bermuda. That's to be seen right now, and that could still happen here. And then the official forecast track by the National Hurricane Center has it moving just east of Bermuda, but you see Bermuda is now in the cone, and we've seen the models slowly make that westward shift the last couple days towards Bermuda. So they are definitely in the cone, and we could see some hurricane watches out for Bermuda by in the next couple days. So I'll have to see how that goes. Another new storm out there right now, Tropical Depression 7. This is probably Tropical Storm Earl by now. It definitely looks that way by just looking at the satellite picture. And here, official forecast track, west-northwest. National Hurricane Center has it becoming a hurricane in 3 days. That might be a little, not sure about that. I think this is going to be a slow developer here. Whether it becomes a hurricane down the road is yet to be seen. And then this is out 5 days. Now, once it gets here, will it find that weakness from Danielle, or will it move a little farther west, then take a turn to the northwest and north? We'll have to see. Still too far out with that one. I think it's definitely going to make a turn, but this one could go a little farther west than Danielle, and that would put Bermuda back into the sights again. Still think the East Coast is pretty much saved from Earl at this moment, but again, long way off, we'll have to see. Satellite loops, here's Danielle. What's happening to Danielle? It was looking pretty good last night again, but now we've had that westerly shear today. You see not much outflow here in the western semicircle here. And you can see these arc clouds shooting off in this area here. This is the presence of a lot of dry air in here. And with that westerly shear of about 15 to 20 knots, it's just hurting the circulation center. You can see the last few loops here. It looks like it's moving more northwest. It's actually a little east of the forecast points by the National Hurricane Center. That could be good news for Bermuda. We'll have to see how this trend goes. This could just be a little wobble to the north, and it might come back this way again. So we'll have to see. But you can see still a lot of westerly shear, and like I said, that shear looks like it's going to lessen by Friday, and that's when this thing could start blowing up again. So we'll have to see how that goes. Here's Tropical Depression 7, or probably Earl by now. We should have the 5 p.m. out on it, and it will definitely be Earl by then. You can see very well-developed circulation already. Maybe a little bit of easterly shear in here, but not too bad. Nice outflow already developing. Still, you can see presence of dry air all in here by these little puffy clouds in here. So still a lot of dry air around it, and this could get wrapped up into this circulation a little bit. Between that, marginally warm waters. The waters are warm, but they're not cooking. And then a little bit of a colder wake from Danielle. So slow, steady development. This one's not going to blow up real quick. And we'll see if it does become a hurricane in 3 to 4 days. The bigger picture here with the water vapor loop, just showing you a lot of dry air right around Earl out west. And then, like I said, the path is going to take it over this little bit of a cooling waters from Danielle as well. So I don't think it's really going to be a hurricane, maybe, like I said, maybe 4 or 5 days out once it gets out into here. There's Danielle. First weakness up in here. That's giving it this little push up to the northwest. Then what's going to happen is in this area here, you see this is the trough along the East Coast. This is the East Coast saving grace. Have another trough starting to enter the picture here. This is going to be that final kicker to kick it out to sea by early next week. But you can see what's going to happen northwest, and then it's going to find this little bit of weakness in here. High pressure is going to develop, kind of block it just for a little bit, and this might push it off just towards Bermuda a little bit, and then before it finally kicks it out to sea. So we're going to be watching that system out here in the Gulf of Mexico. Pretty weak right now. We'll have to watch it. It is going to move slowly to the west. Does it have enough time to develop? I don't believe so, but nevertheless, Texas should watch this one a little carefully, but I don't see development out of this anytime soon. Wider picture here, WSI satellite. This is just showing you the lineup here. Danielle, Earl, we're going to call this Earl now, and possible Fiona. We're going to see a lot of Shrek references with this one. Fiona right here, possibly this will develop too this week. So we might be tracking 3 storms at the same time by the weekend. That should be interesting. And then here's that little bit of weak low pressure in the Gulf. Nothing pretty major right now. And then our friends, trough here, next trough moving through the Midwest here. And here's that weakness. You'll see that weakness right in here. And that's what's pushing this off to the, so catching the weakness, then that weakness is gonna go away, might push a little west. Does it get pretty close to Bermuda or not? And then finally bump it out to sea. Here's that shear. You can see we have a about 15, 20 knots of westerly shear on Danielle right now. But then here's that lighter shear near Bermuda. And we could have a nice little upper high building right in this area. So will it become a major hurricane? And if it does, will that major hurricane go over Bermuda? We want to see this storm go east of Bermuda. The western side's the weaker side. If this goes over Bermuda or to the west of Bermuda, Bermuda could be in trouble and they could have a major hurricane rolling over them by the weekend. So we'll have to watch for that. Again, East Coast saved by Danielle. And now the model runs, and here we go. Don't have all the 12Z model runs out yet, but you could see consensus takes it east of Bermuda, then out to sea. Nova Scotia, Newfoundland look like they'll be saved from Danielle. So far, so good. A lot of consensus models, though, trying to sneak it over towards Bermuda. And the latest no gaps model, which has been the outlier and hasn't really performed that well with systems this year, so kind of want to throw that one out. But the latest no gaps model is actually coming close to the New England coast. But again, I'm going to discount that one right now. But we do have some of the other ensemble models trying to bring it closer to Bermuda. So Bermuda is definitely not out of the woods with this one. Latest tracks from Earl. You can see Earl west-northwest, and then does it take the weakness from Danielle, or does it move a little farther west? My thinking initially, this one moves a little farther west, but does move out to sea. But that could bring it west of Bermuda instead of over Bermuda, east of Bermuda. I think Earl's going to go a little farther west than Danielle, but still will go out to sea. We're still going to have this trough set up for the next week or so. After that, Fiona, that one could move farther west. We'll have to see. Long way off. But the trend's going to be to keep bringing these systems farther west in time. High pressure to start to reestablish itself in the longer range forecast. So we may be safe with Danielle for the U.S., may be safe with Earl after that. Who knows? Latest GFDL 12Z. You can see very close to Bermuda. And then finally, it's going to move like this, close to Bermuda, according to GFDL, and then eventually it's going to hook out to sea like this. But this is the latest, and a major hurricane near Bermuda as well. And the latest, this is the 12Z GFS model, and you can see lining up all 3 of our storms on this model. Very interesting. Takes them all out to sea, which would be wonderful. But again, that's a long way off. But let's roll this back into motion here again. So here's Danielle. And here's Earl, and then we'll see Fiona back here. But you can see, again, GFS pretty close, but east of Bermuda. And then finally, here it comes, and then boom, gets that kick out to sea, misses Nova Scotia and Newfoundland. There's Fiona actually going into Newfoundland, and then, Earl and then Fiona. Boy, I'm going to get all these crazily mixed up. But there's all 3 of our storms. GFS says they all go out to sea. Again, too early to tell there. Definitely Danielle's gonna not affect the United States. Pretty confident Earl won't affect the United States. After that, we'll have to see from there. So that's our update for today. I will have another update possibly later tonight. We'll have to see. Maybe when some of the newer model runs come out, I might put out a quick one later tonight. If not, I'll have another update tomorrow morning. Have a great day.